Hello, I'm Dara, and welcome to my beef farm. It's after being a horrendous week here weather-wise. I'd say in the last 2 days we've got between 50 and 60 mil of rain, or over 2 inches. It's unreal what rain has fallen. But I suppose it's November, and that's what you expect in November, is very bad weather. It's just a pity now I still have all the suckler weanlings out, and that's where I'm going at the moment. I'm on my way down to bring them in. I want to vaccinate them for IBR. I want to give them a worm dose. There's a bit of coughing going on, and then with the weather being so wet now, they're surely going to pick up a bit of stomach worm and lungworm along the way there. So I just want to keep them right. Fortunately, I don't have enough shed space to have them in at the moment there. I need to get a pen of heifers killed, and I'd have enough space to put in about 30 then. But I thought I might have them gone this week, but I just wasn't happy with the cover that was on them and how they were doing in the shed. So I'll probably leave them there for another fortnight, and we'll just have to slum it out in the fields until then. I have grass, but I kind of brought the weanlings off the good grass and brought them back to kind of a field that had a lighter cover, and I put a round feeder with them out in the road and gave them access to the road. So the main thing anyway is that they'll have full bellies, and whatever will fall out of the sky then won't bother them once their bellies are full of silage, and they can go out in and pick in the grass. And they'll also have a dry lie down on the road there as well. I'm just down now where I have the bigger group of weanlings there. I'm just up on the bridge here. I have a bridge over the stream, and you can kind of see where the water was up along there yesterday, going down along. As one of as big a flood as I've seen going down that stream there. It was just so miserable yesterday there, I couldn't record that. And it was a day when I was absolutely perished and couldn't wait to get finished up to get home. But like anything, when you get days like that, then it shows up other things that you need to do. So as I had to move these lads yesterday off the fields and get ready to get round feeders with them. So I have a round feeder there and a full bale of silage in that yesterday, and you can see that they've half it eaten, and they have access to that road then the whole way up along there, and it goes all the way up there further as well. They're out there on kind of a sacrifice field. There was the autumn cows are on it, but I took them off it and I housed them and I let them out. So look, they shouldn't do a whole lot of damage on it. I'd be hoping they won't anyway. There's a couple of lads out there in the other paddock, and so I don't want to let them out on that paddock now until there's a couple of days where we don't have torrential rain, because all they do now is go out, and the majority of that should be walked into the ground. So if I could get these lads to come across to me there now, they're usually not too bad. They kind of come across and used to, I suppose, when they're on the cows there, when you'd see me, they know they were going to get a creep feeder or something like that there, or get meal. So I'd be hoping they're come across. They're kind of coming across to me there now, and it'd be nice to get them up to the yard there and get that job done with them. Now there's just a standoff here now. I have another bunch of weanlings there, the smaller lads, and they have a round feeder and a truck there. They're on a gravel base there that I put down in the springtime there. There was a roadway across that ditch there that I took up, and we put down a base there, and I moved the road to another part of the farm. So they're not going too bad out there. They have a good run, and they have fresh grass down at the end of the fields, and they come up here then and keep their bellies full. I'll just get out now and move on these fellas. Getting them to move on there now. When I have the other lads done now, I'll bring these fellas up and I'll do them as well. I'd see there's a lad there after going under the wire there, a big lad in at the back. And I'll have to bring them up as well, because the IBR vaccine is a live vaccine. So what you have is you have a liquid and powder, and you mix liquid into the powder, and then you put it back into the liquid when it's all mixed up. So it's a live vaccine goes into the muscle. So you have to use it within a couple of hours of being made up. After that, it's useless. Can't go back in the fridge. So I have to get everything done today. I have a bottle that'll do 50 weanlings, and then I have a couple of 5 ml and a 10 ml bottles, and it's just to have it right, not to have any left over, not to be wasting it. Like so. Anyway, I'll get these lads up to the yard and get them done. So I have the weanlings in there in the pen, and the rain is at it again. RJ's, I'd love to get a break from it. And anyway, we'll get on with the job there. So this is the vaccine, IBR marker live. So you have to take a couple of mil out of that bottle, put it in there, mix that up, and then take it from there and put it back in there, and then your vaccine is mixed up and ready to go. So 2 mil into the muscle. So I'm not sure if I said the vaccine is a 2 ml vaccine, and it's give it there on the muscle in the neck. I have an automatic gun, so I just give it a shot and reload itself. So I suppose why are we vaccinating for IBR? Well, I suppose like anything, prevention is better than cure, and even if they do get pneumonia or IBR, it will help their immune system, help them come over quicker and probably with less antibiotics, and they won't get as sick. I think a lot of farmers are guilty of looking after their animals better than they are of looking after themselves. And last year, I didn't get the flu vaccine, and my wife and kids did, and I got very sick around this time last year. Now, I got the flu vaccine about a month ago, and I have a little bit of, you can kind of hear it in my chest there, but I reckon I would have been an awful lot worse if I didn't get the vaccine. So that's probably the theory behind it. I know last year it took me at least 3 weeks to get out of it, whereas this hasn't got in on me, if you know what I'm saying. So I'll get these vaccinated there, and we'll get them into the crate and get them dosed in. So just run up along them like that. Because they're all getting 2 mils, I didn't bother putting them in the crate to do. It's handy now just to run up along the crush and get them done. At least I'm not picking up and dropping down a gun there. So I do put them in the crate to dose them though, because I want to dose them by weight. The gun I have can be adjusted. So that animal is 376 kilos. The dose here is a mil per 10 kilos. So I'll set it. It can be set for 37, and the next increment then is 40. So 40 is for 400. So that's what I'll dose that animal with, is with 40 mils. So I adjust it for every animal. So that's why I weigh them, and pop it into their mouth there, the back of their tongue, pull the trigger lead off there, and I usually just leave the gun there and let them chew on a little bit and swallow it off. So pull the lever, let them off, open the gate, and normally the next calf comes up to me there because they see the light. They run in, I don't have to move out of this spot there for the majority of the time. So as you can see, the animal is lighter, so that gun doesn't need to be set for 40. I can bring it back to 345. So I'll probably set it for 37 rather than 35, just to give myself a little bit over and above. But if she does spit some out, then you're underdosing her and you won't do your job. You're only encouraging then resistance. So underdosing is actually worse than overdosing. Go on now, calm down. Langus, I had a bit of fire in her. Now we got there in the end. Aye, no harm done to you. Out you go. Come on now. Now this lad is making a liar of me. Let's go down and get him. Another good chunk of a weanling there, and as you can see, he's a little bit heavier, 360 kilos. So again, I'll set it for 40 million because I think 37 is a bit too close to it. A lighter one there now, a heifer, 288. Would set that gun in for 30 for her. I don't have the boss man with me today. Sure. We're not weighing anything really, we're not recording the weights, and the way the weather is, he'd be at nothing being out here today. He'd be only perished and getting the flu himself, so inside in the heat is the best place for him now today. So that's my father I'm talking about there. So there's another good chunk of weanling there, 424. And I'll set the gun there for 45 to do 450 kilos. Lad. No. So that's it. I probably won't record anymore because I don't want the video going on, and you've seen all this before anyway. It's just it's rinse and repeat, one after another. So I just want to get them all done. I would actually like to have done their tails, shave them and clip them up there, but just when the hour goes back, the days are very short, and I just want to kind of get through them, get them back out, because I have to get in that other group that you saw then and do them as well, and do all that before it gets dark. I'm just lucky I have the covered crush here. I said I can't take credit for this covered crush. My dad put this up, but you know, I'm in here now in the dry, good lights, and we can work away in comfort there and get this job done. So I'll stay going and get everything done there, and we'll pick it up then. I'm in the slatted shed again. I'm a little further down in the shed. And again, I have a repair to do, but this time it's on a dividing railing between two pens. So this is a dividing railing here. I have a break there now, and I also have one down here. So what I'm going to do is I have a piece of steel cut like that, and I'm going to slide that in, and then we'll lift up this piece flush with that, and we'll be able to slide that in and hold it in place, and we'll weld it all together, and that'll be that job done anyway. So I'll get on with that and get it done. So that's that now. I just weld all that now. That's nicely lined up there on the crack. So I'll weld that and cut off that little screw then, and job will be a good one, I hope. So I have that welded, and you can see I have it filled up along there. I probably cut that too wide anyway, so it took me a bit of filling to do it, but that's solid as a rock now. Put a bit of paint on it, although paint won't do much for those railings now. They're there since 1990, I think, but just to do the job right here, we'll just spray over the welding. Have a bit of paint sprayed on it there. It's kind of galvanizing spray. So that's that one done, and that's that one done. So I think that's all the repairs I have to do on this shed. It's more or less ready for winter, and the way today is going, it wouldn't be long about bringing in a lot of cash now. Absolute horrible day. But just as well I got that repair done to the railing when I did, as I have the two pens that's dividing up full with the dairy beef heifers. And I was saying all along I was hoping to get them until the middle of November, but weather dependent. And as typical November can do, it just lash down the rain, and they had to put the heifers in. In fairness, now I got them until the 7th of November, so that's not too bad going. I have them all in behind me here. I was lucky I had them vaccinated for IBR, so at least that much was done before they came in. I just have a heifer there wanting to eat a bit of my jumper. So as I said, I was lucky I had them vaccinated before they come in. The weather is very mild at the moment. You can see it in my breath there. Yesterday we had an awful lot of rain, and it's fine today, but it's kind of a bit cooler there. So I'm going through these weanlings every day and having a look through them, just to make sure that none of them are sick or anything like that. But they seem to be still covered from the dose that they got there in August. So these heifers were weighed when I brought them down from the silage ground. They were averaging 225 kilos. So I'm very happy with that personally myself. As I said, there's not a massive amount of inputs gone into them, so to get them to that weight going in, and if they were to gain a half kilo a day for 120 days or 100 days even, they'd be going back out as 275 kilos, and some of them be close to 300 kilos. So for me now, they're well on target at that. And I wasn't sure what weight they should be, but I did see an article which where you'd expect the calves to be, and I might just stick in the clip of that now. So since they were weighed going up in August to the silage ground from when they came home, they averaged actually 0.9 a day off grass only. So for me, that's super. I don't think they'd have done any better if they were on meal. Now, the reason I keep mentioning meal is I see meal as kind of a cost. And if I can grow heifers, put 0.8 or 0.9 or 0.7 on them a day without having to give meal, well then I'm winning then, because it's one less cost than that it is on my system. Even if I was giving them a kilo a day, there's 65 calves in, and that's 65 kilos. You could say that's 35 cents a kilo. So you can do the maths yourself there, and then put that over a week, and push it over a month, and push it over the whole summer then, and you'd see it comes into thousands. And there'll be 1 or 2 heifers gone out with this group just to pay the first summer's meal bill alone. So as far as the way I look at it, I still have these 2 heifers in this pen for myself. So they're in 2 pens on the slats here. There's 30 in one pen and 35 in the other. I will get them out now in due course. I'm waiting on new clipper blades to come, and I'll clip their backs, and I will clip all their tails. And as I said, they're done for IBR, so possibly then they'll get a lice dose, and I'll do a dunk sample on them then to see whether I need to do them for fluke or any other worms after that. They're in the right place now, especially with the rain we're after getting now over the last couple of days. And it's up to me now to mind them now for the winter and keep them well fed. So it's the next day. Real contrast in a day from the weather we had yesterday. Although it's dry now, we had rain this morning, and we had an awful lot of rain again last night. So much so that the floods were up and out again. I think we're due a yellow warning for rain tomorrow, which is, I don't know, is that an inch of rain or what it is, but anyway, there's a nice load of rain due again. I'm just down here. I have a few store bullocks and heifers still at grass there. They're ones now that I will offer for sale now in the next week or two. There's 2 grand bullocks there together side by side, red and the black there, 938 and 939. They'll probably go together there. A nice little limousine heifer there. She'd be a match for that one walking off there as well. And the Charlie there, she's over 500 kilos. A nice chunk of a heifer there. So as you can see, ground is pretty soft under them there. They were down at the very end of that field there in the next paddock, but I see there's a straining post broken over there, so they have to come back up from it. I only moved them down there the other day, but sure, that's the way it goes. A wet weather like that now would upset cattle. So I have a small bit of silage on the loader over there, and I'm just going to drop it there under the electric fence there, and just give them something to give them a little bit of fibre, just to keep them full. Although they look pretty alright going across there anyway, but I'd be always worrying about me cattle. So anyway, before I finish up the video there, I was just watching a YouTube video there last week, Karen Moynihan, and she gave me a lovely mention at the end of it there. She recommended my channel for viewing, so it was totally unexpected, and I'd just like to thank Karen for that mention there. I very much appreciate it. So on that note then, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'd like to thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.